name is Katrine Volynsky. I'm a health professional and a mom, and I guess a seeker of truth and trying to figure out as many parts of this reality as I can to be able to guide myself, my family, and my clients and my friends into a better life. And before Chernobyl, I was a child. And I guess happy childhood, normal Soviet Union childhood, being a pioneer and all that type of stuff. And after the Chernobyl, I wouldn't say it affected me right away. You know, I was looking at my family degrading in their health and seeing, you know, cancers in close family and friends and extended family. So that was, I guess, traumatic to watch, especially people the same, not people, kids the same age getting leukemia and getting really sick, you know, seeing my grandmother with this crazy holes like all the way to her bone and her hands from radiation. So I remember those things. I also remember measuring radiation in the rain and whether we can go outside or whether we can drink the water or not. And, you know, it's always kind of been there on the background. And not really getting the full extent of what it would mean for me until I was in my teenage years for the first time when I was started getting really sick, and which was managed by pharmaceutical means. And then the second time in my 20s when I gotten sick as well and had to find natural means to get better. Wow, it's changed completely. The way I've changed my body since I started researching. First of all, I was pretty much on the deathbed. You know, at that time, I've looked at Western medicine trying to use hormonal therapy and drugs and pharmaceuticals and just stopping everything I was doing because I just didn't have the energy to do anything. And I was in a completely different industry at that time. I was in finance, had nothing to do with health, hated biology, hated anything to do with any kind of study of medicine or anything like this. Never occurred in my life to me that I would be interested in biochemistry or biology or physics or anything like this. That just wasn't part of my makeup. After I've gone through my physiological change, I would say the level of knowledge and self-confidence really helped me shape my life. And it also opened up a spiritual awakening and a reevaluation of values and put together a nice foundation of practices that I still have every day as a core of, you know, who I am, what I do when I wake up, and how I modulate my reality. So it's a combination of using the knowledge to help myself and others, and also what happened to me spiritually and emotionally. So Staying Alive in a Toxic World, which is a book we've written a long time ago. Now I would have so much more different things that I would want to write about. I just haven't had the chance. But that book was written together with my business partner, friend, Wade Hurd. And it was actually not specifically radiation detox protocols. It was a manual to stay healthy in any type of conditions, any type of disease state or non-disease state, just a manual for good, healthy life. We're talking about main principles of, you know, air, water, exercise, you know, food, nutrition, sunlight, anything that is compromises a healthy lifestyle to help you deal with any kind of challenges. It's a foundational book. It's not how to detox yourself from radiation. It really is a general but very important practices that we need to do every day, because you can be specific all you want, but if you don't have the foundation, you're not going to have health. If you don't have a foundation that you're able to do every day, that you're able to live in, it's your lifestyle, you're going to come back into trouble. You're going to come back into a disease state. You're going to lose your wellness and energy and maybe age faster. So this is type of things that we talk about there are just what you should be doing every day if you want to maintain a healthy, robust lifestyle. So in previous interviews, when we talked mostly about radiation, my experiences and the protocols I used for wellness at that time, and the kind of things that I was really into 10 years ago, pretty much. they are very different from what we talked about today. It's still foundational, ideas about what is energy, what is metabolism, how do we live in this trying times, how do we manage our emotions, what are outside sources that we can't control that might be affecting our health, and what to do about it or not do anything about it, how to deal with life challenges, and some practical solutions on keeping your body well and your mind healthy. So after this interview, I would say I would love for people to understand that health in general is a multifactorial, multidisciplinary science. I wouldn't even say it's science. It's a combination of sciences and lifestyle approaches and your ability to manage your emotional and spiritual states. It's not just taking supplement X. It's not just doing meditation B. It's how you are looking at your life, how you're managing your energy, and understanding that we don't have unlimited amounts of energy. We might want to think that we do, and I think it's useful to think that way and to help us to get over some of the challenges that we can get to that place. But we still are dealing with, this is what we've been given, and how are we going to use it? Where is it worth to spend? Do you want to have a healthier, longer life, with your child or with your, loved ones, or do you want to be an athlete and want to be a CEO and might not have the longer, healthier lifespan? So it's like a juggling. You're juggling your priorities, your values, and how much energy and lifestyle flexibility you can gain and have in this trying world. It starts, so my daily routines, they are my routines. I love routines. They just really help me quiet my mind and keep me going. Morning rituals are extremely important for me. I usually wake up before my family wakes up. This is my quiet time. This is time for myself. This is time when I can turn in, when I can self-care before, life just takes over. So I'd rather go to bed earlier and not watch Netflix or not read books, but have that time to myself where I can focus on what's important to me. And it usually starts with meditation, with gentle stretching. I usually have some kind of exercise in the morning, hiking, yoga session, sometimes bike, mostly hike. Getting out in nature, getting on the sun. I like to wake up before the sunrise and watch the colors change and get those early morning sun rays into my eyes to be able to get the proper information into the system about what time of the year it is, what time of the day it is, to get a good hormonal cascade. It also usually fast. I don't usually eat. It's fasting is part of my ritual as well. Drinking lots of good water. Recently, I have been really into doing a lot of gua sha. That's become part of my ritual as well. This is a skin scraping skin work where you stimulate collagen and you're also stimulating the lymphatic system. I think it's really great, and it also feels very nourishing to be able to do that for myself. And those are, I would say, my most important morning rituals. And then in the evening, I also would like to usually finish my day with going again for a bike ride or for a hike, go see the sunset, sometimes with my family, sometimes without my family, but it's also part of daily ritual to get outside after a day of working or doing other projects and connect with nature, connect with my family, connect with the sun and the rocks, and really nourish my body back to what is important. Small steps to start towards detoxing and building your health, I would say, starting with your immediate environment. If you live in a place where there's bad air pollution, you might want to invest into some home technologies. You might want to get an air filter, a good water supply, because we need to drink good water, and sometimes it's impossible to go and get it from somewhere. And of course, anything in plastic will have toxins and endocrinological disruptors. So you want to have clean water. You want to have clean air. Those are the big foundations. And you want to have time to connect with the sun. You want to have time to connect with the earth, grounding, walking outside in nature, listening to the nature sounds as much as possible. The other one would be, of course, looking at your diet. I mean, there's a variety of ways you can justify, moving towards healthier lifestyle. For some people, it's introducing more liquid meals. For some people, it's stopping refined sugars or refined carbohydrates. Looking really at your diet and seeing how can you improve your insulin sensitivity with your diet and how you can make it more consistent. I think intermediate fasting and time-restricted fasting is one of the really great techniques. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to fast for 24 hours or 48 hours. Even fasting for 16 hours, just eating between 10 and 6, or not eating after sundown, can really help your body to start detoxing naturally and moving towards greater health states. Not snacking at night is one of the best ways to give your body rest and digest signaling. The other ways, of course, to increase more green vegetables and fibers. I mean, everybody's going to tell you that, but it is also individual. It can be different for variety of people. I also think exercising or some kind of way to move your blood, to move your lymph, because lymph is your storage system. Kind of, I would say a lot of stuff ends up in there. So our lifestyles are very sedimentary. We sit a lot. We sit a lot in front of a computer. We also do this, right? And it congested the lymph as well. So finding ways to move throughout the day a little bit more. You don't have to run a marathon, but if you can get up and maybe do a little dance or have a little rebounder to jump on or go upside down or, chase your kid around the kitchen. A lot of kids at home right now, do anything, any little bit more movement that can create the pumping action and start cleansing the blood and start getting more oxygen in, start helping your lymphatic system to cleanse. I think that is an amazing way to move forward. And also using other ways to cleanse, such as saunas and Epsom salt bath. That's an easy one too. Having a nice, long, luxurious bath with lots of Epsom salts and baking soda is like a step to detox as well. Any type of sweating will help you get rid of toxins. And I would say those are the things that are probably the easiest to integrate without going into crazy herbs and binders and a whole bunch of other things. It's just, we are meant to detox. We do it actually all the time. That's what happens in our body. Our body is constantly biotransforming. It's taking toxic things and making them less toxic or excreting them. So supporting the organs of excretion, it's also kind of an important way to help the body. One of the biggest changes I've seen in clients over the last 5 years, my personal clients, well, that's a difficult one because everybody's going through stages. In the coaching relationship, you're not there to see the end of a problem. You're there to support people as they're going through life challenges. So in my clients, it could be a variety of things, from helping them understand when enough is enough. I think is a very important thing, because we're so wired to do more, to be more, to become more, to do more cleanses and take more supplements. I think when I get through to my clients where I was like, okay, you really need to chug some of these activities and really balance your priorities. When that happens, it makes my heart sing, because all of a sudden they have more energy, they become more present, they're not chasing something. Their cortisol goes down, their hormones sometimes balance. So I think that is, in personal long-term client relationships, it's been one of my favorite ways to see clients change. Of course, with pretty much everybody, we figured out the blood sugar, how to keep that stable. That's an important factor of everyday healthy life. We find a way that works for them to find supportive practices that help them stay healthy and not overtaking their life, not being just about detox, just about something like that. So over time, we find that nice medium, and we find how do I do that every day? What are the most important things to keep me going towards my goals without shortchanging myself in the future. And just creating more awareness, internal awareness about what things mean when you feel X, and when to stop on like going like, oh, I'm just about to crash, I need to go eat X, So having more knowledge about the body, I think that's the goal that I strive to, and that's what I see with my clients. So if the entire planet eats clean and detox, I think it's beyond eating clean and detoxing, honestly. We really need to take a look at our emotions and about, again, how we carry in ourselves. It's not just coming down to those two things. It's not all in all. It's definitely helpful. And creating a lifestyle where, this is just being taught, when you're a child, it's like, this is what you do, and what you do when you're a teenager, this is what you do when you're in 20s and 30s. I think that would be helpful in general to maybe eradicate some lifestyle diseases, some of the metabolic problems, or maybe at least lower the incidence of it and make it less challenging for people to deal with this type of situation. I think teaching women more about their bodies and their cycles is going to be extremely helpful in the whole spectrum of wellness sector. I don't know how the healthcare is going to turn around. There's just too many questions that can be posed in there. I mean, there's pharmaceutical industry, and just it's a long conversation. I don't have an answer for how it's going to change. I just hope as people become more in touch with their bodies and understanding the cycles of the bodies and how to support what they want to achieve without, again, subtracting quality of life, can generally create a better lifespan and more comfortable lifespan, and that's what I would probably like to see.